The story kicks off on the day of a massive birthday bash for the patriarch of the Wong family, the most influential clan in the entire city. All the city's heavy hitters are there for the extravagant celebration. That's when Rosie, known as the town's greatest beauty, makes her entrance with her family. A nearby young master scoffs, "What's the point of all that beauty and talent if she's just going to throw it away on some hick from the sticks? Any one of us would have been a better choice than that loser she picked." As Rosie heads for the entrance, another pompous young master steps in her path, saying, "Miss Mang Rosie, this isn't some public park where you can just wander in. This is the Wong family's birthday party, the most exclusive event in the city. Without an invitation, you can't even get close to the gate. If you had married me, you could have walked in here with your head held high. But no, you had to choose that peasant, such Chen. Marrying him is a one-way ticket to a life of shame." Rosie completely ignores him and presents her invitation to the guard. The guard examines it and says, "My apologies, miss, but I don't recognize this type of card. I'll have to check with my manager to see if it's legitimate." Rosie's brow furrows, but Suchin brought this invitation himself. There's no way it could be fake. The young master lets out a derisive laugh. "Ha, this is what happens when you put your faith in a country bumpkin. Trying to sneak into the Wong family's party with a phony invitation. How pathetic. If you were with me, you wouldn't be facing this embarrassment." Even Rosie's own mother chimes in. "Rosie, just go with young Masterly. Forget about such Chen. He's worthless." But Rosie holds her ground, declaring, "I don't care what any of you say. I have complete faith in such Chen. And as for you, young Masterly, stay out of it. Say another word, and I promise you'll regret it." Young Masterly sneers and lunges for Rosie, but before his hand can even touch her, Suchin materializes, seizing his wrist. Suchin speaks with an icy tone, "How dare you lay a hand on my wife? Honestly, I wasn't planning on wasting my time with scum like you, but you forced my hand. You're not even worth the effort." Young Masterly, red with fury, shouts, "Teach this punk a lesson. I'll wipe that arrogant smirk off his face today." At that very moment, the Wong family's butler emerges, flanked by 20 armed guards. The butler's sharp voice rings out, "Who dares cause a scene and disrespect the Wong family's guest of honor? Had you offended our family patriarch, we might have been able to overlook it this one time, but to offend Master Such Chen, our esteemed guest, that is an unforgivable insult. Please accept our deepest apologies, Master Such Chen. We were unaware you would be gracing our humble event with your presence. The head of the family has been eagerly awaiting your arrival inside. Please, come in." Everyone is completely floored. The Wong family, the most powerful force in the city, just called him their divine guest. They don't show this level of reverence even to other major families. So who exactly is this Such Chen? And why would the city's most sought-after woman pick a simple guy from the countryside over all the elite bachelors? What is his real identity? That's a question the story will answer as it unfolds. Now, as our tale truly begins, we see our main character, Such Chen, who begins to narrate, "I was only 10 years old when my entire family was annihilated. I was weak, helpless, powerless to do a thing. But then, an old man found me and saved my life. He brought me to my master. From that day on, I lived with him in the mountains for 10 long years. For an entire decade, I trained relentlessly. Every single day, waiting for this very moment. My master even told me recently that there's nothing left for him to teach me. Now, the time has finally come to descend from the mountain and confront those who destroyed my life." Before Suchin departed, his master gave him one last piece of advice. "Before you seek your vengeance, you must first repay the kindness of those who helped you in your time of need." Suchin thinks to himself, "Honestly, even if my master hadn't said a word, I would have gone straight to the old man who saved me. He's the only family I have left." The scene changes to a funeral. The old man's body rests inside a coffin, and a group of thugs are menacingly standing over it. One of them snarls, "We heard the Wong family sent you an invitation. Hand it over nice and quiet, or we'll be having not one, but 3 funerals here today. And the best part? There won't be anyone left to carry the coffins. Come on, what are 2 women going to do against all of us? Hand it over." Nearby, onlookers whisper amongst themselves. It hasn't even been 2 hours since the head of the Mang family passed away, and their rivals are already circling like vultures. The Mang family's dream group has always been in fierce competition with the Jiang family's excellence group, but while the head was alive, they never dared to touch them. Now that he's gone, they've come straight to take the invitation, the one that holds the key to the family's future. Poor Mang family, they're doomed. No one would dare go against the Jiang family, someone mutters quietly. "God, please send someone to help them." The thug hears and scoffs, "Pray all you want. Even if your gods came down themselves, they couldn't save you. There's no hero coming to the rescue. Those only exist in fairy tales." Just then, the main gate bursts open, and Suchin walks in. The thugs turn and sneer. "Who's this beggar? Did you come here to ask for food? Leave before you get caught in the mess. This family's finished." Suchin replies coldly, "Oh, you think this family is doomed? Then I'd love to see who dares destroy it while I'm still here." In a flash, Suchin grabs one of the thugs and throws him hard into the house wall. The injured man screams in rage, "Who the hell do you think you are? How dare you attack us? As the thug lunges forward to attack, Sachin steps in and says coldly, looks like you don't even recognize your father. For such a big mistake, I'll have to finish you off myself. The thug growls, how the hell did this beggar get in? I had 20 bodyguards stationed outside. You useless fools couldn't even stop one man. Sachin smirks and replies, oh, you mean those piles of trash lying outside? Sorry, I didn't realize they were bodyguards. I thought they were punching bags, so I might have hit them a little too hard. The thug snarls, you're acting too arrogant. Everyone who's tried to act tough in front of Lehigh couldn't even stand on their own 2 feet afterward. Before he can finish, Suchin punches him hard, sending him flying. Suchin says calmly, step aside, you're blocking the air. Rosie steps forward alarmed, who are you and what's your real purpose here? Sachin ignores her. Kneeling beside the old man, he mutters, damn, I'm too late. Grandpa, forgive me. But then he notices faint breathing. Suchin says, Grandpa isn't dead, he's been poisoned. He's half dead, but it's not too late. I can still save him. Rosie shouts from behind, what are you doing? Leave my grandfather's body alone. Before she can stop him, Suchin pulls out a silver needle and inserts it into the old man's head. The doctor in the room gasps, I can't believe what I'm seeing. That's the great immortal needle, the legendary needle said to bring the dead back to life. A moment later, the old man coughs violently, taking a deep breath. Everyone in the room freezes in shock. Sachin exhales in relief. Good, I wasn't too late. The doctor checks the old man's pulse and says, amazed. His pulse is perfectly steady. In fact, I'd say his body seems 20 years younger now. The old man looks up weakly and says, Dr. Lee, you saved me. Dr. Lee quickly shakes his head. No, sir. I'm not capable of pulling someone back from the gates of death. It was this young man. He used the immortal technique on you. Without him, you wouldn't have survived. Suchin smiles slightly and says, Grandpa, I hope you haven't forgotten me. The old man's eyes fill with tears. Suchin, my child, you've returned. Suchin nods. Yes, I'm back, and I promise you no harm will ever come to this family again. Later that morning during breakfast, the family gathers together. The old man says fondly, 10 years ago, when we adopted you, there was a prophecy that one day you would protect our family, and today you've proven it true. You've grown into a fine, strong, and handsome young man. Tell me, how's your master? Didn't he come with you? Suchin laughs slightly. You know him? He's probably drunk somewhere right now. Before I left the mountains, he told me one thing. Visit the Mang family first. And he was right. Coming here was the right choice. The old man nods and says, seriously, there's something important I need to tell you. Your master made me promise that once you returned after 10 years of training, I would arrange your marriage to my granddaughter. At that moment, Rosie's mother interrupts sharply, Dad, what are you saying? Rosie is now the CEO of our company. She's been running it ever since you fell ill. She's an accomplished woman. She can marry anyone she wants. And you want to pair her with a countryside boy? How could you even think he's worthy of her? Sachin smirks and says quietly, Grandpa, to be honest, she's kind of right. The old man slams the table and shouts, Diana, do you even think before you speak? Do you know who Sachin really is? Rosie is my granddaughter. So I'll keep this respectful, but understand this clearly. Marrying Suchin is her fortune. Any woman Suchin lays his hand on would be lucky to have him. You have no idea. Even the scraps left behind by such Chen's master are worth more than our entire family, he thinks to himself. She doesn't know the truth that such Chen is the successor of one of the most powerful masters in the world. Grandpa then smiles and says, Now Suchin, tell me, do you agree to this marriage? Before Suchin can respond, Rosie enters the room. Grandpa, did you call me? Suchin looks at her closely for the first time and thinks, I was in such a hurry before. I didn't notice, but she's actually stunning. Grandpa laughs. Suchin, what do you think of your bride? Rosie blushes slightly and says, Wait, are you saying this is the Suchin I knew as a kid? He's changed so much. But how did you heal Grandpa like that? She thinks to herself, 10 years ago, Grandpa saved such Chen's life, and now 10 years later, he returned to save us. There's definitely something special about him. Honestly, I think I like him. Sachin chuckles. Don't get too excited. It was just a bit of handwork, nothing special. Rosie laughs. You're not only strong, you're funny too, Grandpa interrupts. Rosie, where are you going? Rosie smiles slightly and says, I just signed the registration form. Our marriage is official now. Isn't that what you wanted, Grandpa? Grandpa claps his hands joyfully. Haha, these youngsters work fast nowadays. We've both done the right thing. Meanwhile, Suchin thinks to himself, I thought the first thing I'd do after leaving the mountain would be to take revenge, but instead, I ended up getting married. Well, to be honest, Rosie's beautiful, so I can't really complain. Diana grabbed Rosie's arm and pulled her aside, saying sharply, Come here, I need to talk to you. Have you completely lost your mind? Do you even know who Suchin is? He's just a backward village boy. Look at his clothes. No fashion sense, no manners, no class. How could someone like him ever be your equal? Rosie replied calmly, Mom, I know exactly what I'm doing. Everything you mentioned, style, manners, refinement, he can learn those with time. But saving Grandpa the way he did, that's something none of us could ever do in a lifetime. I've never seen Grandpa this happy. If marrying Suchin brings him joy, then I'm more than willing to do it. After all, it's the least I can do for his happiness. Besides, I trust Suchin completely. Diana frowned deeply and said bitterly, "You've been under your grandfather's influence since childhood, and now you're just blinded by it. Mark my words, this villager will never be worthy of being part of the Mang family. Sooner or later, you'll throw him out of the house yourself." Later, Grandpa said to Such Chen, "You've just returned to the city, so I assume you don't have work yet. How about helping Rosie with her company? After all, you both will manage it together in the future. I'll start you with an annual salary of $300, 000. If you need anything else, just let me know." Sushin thought to himself, the poison in Grandpa's body hasn't completely left yet. It'll take time to remove the rest, and I still need to find the person who poisoned him. It must be someone close to the family, because the poison has been administered gradually over time. I'll need to stay nearby acting naturally to investigate everything properly. Later, Suchin arrived at the company. He thought, once I'm done with work, I'll meet Dr. Lee about some herbs. Honestly, I'm just sitting here. They haven't even given me any real tasks yet. Just then, Diana walked in with a smug smile. "Oh, so you're here. Take this, a check for $5 million and get out." Suchin looked at her and said, "So, 1 year of work earns me $300,000, but leaving immediately earns me $5 million? Tell me, mother-in-law, why are you being so generous all of a sudden?" Diana snapped. "Don't call me mother-in-law. I don't know what kind of trick you've used to charm Rosie and my father, but I don't like you, not even one bit. Take the money and disappear from our lives forever. I don't ever want to see you near the Mang family again." Diana thought to herself, smirking. He's a mountain boy. 5 million is a fortune for someone like him. He'll definitely take it and vanish. But to her shock, Suchin took the check and tore it in half. He said firmly, 5 million? Even if you offer me the entire Mang family fortune, it's all the same to me. Look, I get that money makes the world go round, but to me, it's just paper. Diana balled her hands into fists, fuming internally. This kid is way too clever. He's playing the long game, knowing he'll get his hands on everything through Rosie eventually. That's why he's turning down the cash now. But I've got huge plans for Rosie's future. If she doesn't marry rich, how am I supposed to upgrade my own life? This smug little punk thinks he's so smart. I'll show him. A fake smile spread across her face as she said, "All right then, since you're officially part of our company now, let's get you started on your first assignment." She then turned to her secretary. "Secretary Liu, are those documents prepared?" The secretary gave a quick nod. "Yes, ma'am." Diana then passed a file to Suchin. "Take a good look at these. It states right here that the Tian Trading Company owes us a cool $10 million. Your job is to go with Secretary Liu and collect that debt. Rosie usually handles this stuff, but she's swamped at the moment. I'm sure a capable young man like you can wrap this up in no time." Secretary Liu looked nervous, thinking to herself, what is the madam playing at? The Tian Trading Company has the Wong family backing them. The last guy we sent to collect that money came back with a few new joints bending the wrong way. He's still laid up in a hospital bed, and now she's throwing this rookie at them. What on earth is going to happen to him? Meanwhile, Suchin just gave a slight smile and said, "Don't you worry about a thing. I'll get the money. But, mother-in-law, when I walk back in here with it, you're going to have to bow and give me a sincere apology." Dinah shot back, "Fine. It's a deal." And with that, she stormed out of the room. Just as Secretary Liu was getting ready to head out, Suchin suddenly asked, "Do you get those sharp stomach pains often?" She stopped dead in her tracks. "How? How could you possibly know that?" Suchin answered nonchalantly, "I can give you a quick massage. It'll only run you 8,000 yuan, and I guarantee that pain will vanish for good." Liu's face soured as she snapped back, "You are such a creep," and she promptly walked off. Suchin let out a sigh, wondering, what did I say wrong? All right, if she doesn't want the massage, her loss. She could just drink the herbal tea I was going to recommend every morning. That would clear up the pain, too, Suchin mused to himself. You know, my master always said the skills he taught me were priceless, and that the people down in the city would be incredibly grateful for my help. A bitter smile touched Suchin's lips. But all I get for trying to help is being called a pervert. Right at that moment, Rosie walked into the office and saw Secretary Liu's bright red face. "Secretary Liu, why are you so flushed?" "Anyway, I'm glad I caught you, Suchin. We have to go to the Wong family's party this evening. Here, take this card and some cash. Go buy yourself a decent suit. I want you to look sharp for the event." A small smile played on Suchin's face as he thought, the mother might be a monster, but the daughter is a real sweetheart. A little while later, Suchin showed up at Dr. Lee's clinic. The moment he walked in, he saw a man absolutely wailing on Dr. Lee. The man was yelling, "I thought you were some kind of miracle worker, but you're nothing but a total fraud. You declared the old man from the Mang family dead, and he was still breathing. If he hadn't woken up right before they put him in the ground, they would have buried him alive, all thanks to you. And now, my father, you've been treating him for 15 days straight, and he hasn't gotten any better. I was suspicious before, but now I know for sure you're just a dirty, rotten quack. Dr. Lee pleaded, Mr. Wong, please, you have to understand. Your father's illness is incredibly severe. There's absolutely no way to cure him in only 15 days. Wong cut him off, snarling. You expect me to buy that pathetic excuse? Get real. You're not laying another finger on my father. I've already moved him to the main hospital. I'm not about to let your incompetence finish him off. It was at that exact moment that Suchin stepped into the room and spoke in a calm, steady voice. Brother, you need to calm down. Doctors always give everything they have to save a patient, but you have to remember, they're only human, and every human has their limits. Just because a family member doesn't get better, that doesn't give you the right to get physical with their doctor. Wong shot him a death glare and yelled, Who the hell do you think you are? Stay out of my family's business. Dr. Lee quickly jumped in. That's the divine doctor, Suchin. He's the one who brought the old master of the Mang family back from the brink. If anyone on this planet can save your father, it's him. Suchin replied humbly, Dr. Lee, you're flattering me. Wong stared at him, completely unconvinced. This kid, you're telling me he's some kind of legendary doctor? A little while later, Suchin went with Wong to the hospital. On the way, Wong warned him, Listen, kid, I'm giving you exactly 1 day. If my father doesn't show improvement by tomorrow, I swear I'll make both you and Dr. Lee regret it. Dr. Lee immediately objected, Mr. Wong, 1 day is nowhere near enough time. Your father's condition is critical. There's nothing significant we can accomplish in just 24 hours. Suchin flashed a confident grin. For this, I only need 15 minutes. The moment this needle goes in, even the most critical conditions will start to disappear. True to his word, he swiftly placed a needle into the old man's head. Just moments later, Wong's father erupted into a violent coughing fit, blood spilling from his mouth. Wong cried out in a panic, Dad, what's wrong? Why are you coughing up blood? I knew I shouldn't have trusted these quacks. They've only made you worse. Somebody get another doctor, now. You two are going to pay for this. We'll be seeing each other again, and I promise it won't be a friendly visit. Suchin replied calmly, You obviously care a great deal for your father, so I'll give you one last chance. Come and apologize to me within 3 days. What I just did will grant your father some temporary relief, but if you want a complete recovery, you're going to need me. Wong shot back. We'll see who comes crawling back to whom. As Wong sped away, he fumed to himself. All these so-called traditional doctors are phonies. I never should have brought Dad here. But then, a voice came from the back seat. His father spoke weakly. Son, just a little while ago, I was in excruciating pain, but now, it's gone. It's completely gone. I feel strength returning to my body like I'm healing at an incredible rate. Wong was floored. Dad, are you serious? You really feel better? His father nodded. Yes, I can feel my body healing. That doctor, he actually saved me. Son, listen to me. We have to thank him properly. All the other doctors gave up on me. The man who just treated me isn't just some doctor. He's a miracle worker. We owe him everything. Wong thought to himself, a wave of shock washing over him. Wait a minute. The guy I just threatened was a legendary doctor? I've made a terrible mistake. Later, outside the Dream Group building, Suchin reflected, I got all the herbs I needed from Dr. Lee. With these, I can finally make that potent medicine for Grandpa. Just then, a car pulled up beside him. Rosie leaned out and said, Suchin, what are you doing here? I thought I told you to go buy yourself some nice clothes. Suchin rubbed the back of his neck sheepishly. Ah, sorry. It slipped my mind, he said, thinking to himself. I spent all the cash on herbs. Rosie just sighed. Fine, just get in the car. As he got in, young Master Lee, sitting up front, turned around and sneered. Rosie, since when do you hang around with peasants? Who is this hillbilly? A girl next to him chimed in mockingly. I heard a rumor you were already married, Rosie. Don't tell me this is your husband. Young Master Lee burst out laughing. Ha! What a joke. Everyone knows Rosie is way too focused on her career to even think about marriage. Besides, she's the pride of the Mang family. When she finally does get married, it'll be to someone from a top-tier family, not some nobody from the sticks. Rosie cut in firmly. Actually, you're wrong. I am married, and this is my husband, Suchin. If you want to gossip, do it amongst yourselves. I'm going to get some rest. The group gasped. What? You married this? Peasant? Suchin spoke up. Didn't you hear the lady? She's trying to rest. So why are you all being so loud? Young Master Lee scowled. I was talking to Rosie. And who gave you permission to butt in? Suchin's voice was ice. You were talking at times my wife, and she clearly has no interest in talking to you. So do us all a favor and shut your trap. Young Master Lee's fists tightened in fury. A villager dares to tell me to shut up, he thought. I'm going to teach this punk a lesson. A nasty smirk spread across his face. Good thing I still have that ice needle on me. One little poke with this, and he'll lose complete control of his body. Then we'll see who's laughing. But Suchin caught the subtle movement instantly. So, the little coward is trying to use an ice needle. What a dirty trick. With a flick of his wrist, Suchin sent the needle flying right back at Lee. The girl in the front seat shrieked. Young Master Lee, what was that? Startled, Rosie asked. What's happening? Why is everyone screaming? The girl stammered. Young Master Lee? He wet his pants. A moment later, as everyone piled out of the car, they muttered in disgust. Ugh, gross. Young Master Lee had completely lost control of his functions, soiling the car seat. Suchin just smirked to himself, thinking, that's what you get for trying to pull a fast one on me. Rosie said calmly, Lee, go get yourself changed. Don't worry about the car, you can deal with it later. Suchin, however, couldn't resist a jab. Brother Lee, he began with a grin. What happened there? Having a little trouble holding it in? You should have just said something, we would have pulled over. Why'd you have to? Well, let it all go like that. Seething with humiliation, young Master Lee yelled, You jerk. Suchin, I'll make you pay for this. But before he could even take a step forward, Suchin slammed the gate shut and taunted. Nope, not yet. Don't come any closer until you've changed your undies, a suspicious Rosie asked. Suchin, did you have something to do with this whole mess? Suchin just played it cool. Nah, I didn't lift a finger. That was all Lee's doing. But hey, don't sweat it. I'll whip up a special medicine for him that'll help him keep it in his pants from now on. Rosie's brow furrowed. Then why did he come after you before? Suchin just shrugged. Beats me, you'd have to ask him. Rosie let out a sigh. Look, just try not to get on his bad side for now. With Grandpa no longer running the company, things have been a little tough for us. The Lee family has really been helping us out, and we only got that invitation to the Long family's party because of their connections. We still need them. Suchin thought to himself. She's telling me not to get on his bad side, but I think we're way past that point. Lee stormed off, shouting arrogantly. Rosie, I really thought our companies had a future together. But with a guy like Suchin hanging around, I don't see how we can ever cooperate. And if we're not partners, why should we be going to the same parties? You can forget about that invitation to the Wong family's event. Rosie was floored. What in the world just happened? Now they lost the Wong family invitation and blown their good standing with the Lee family. Suchin just smiled, trying to calm her down. Hey, don't worry about it. Losing their backing isn't as big of a deal as you think. Anyway, I'm about to head over to the Tion Trading Company and pick up the 10 million they owe us. Rosie's eyes went wide. What? How do you even know about the Tion family? Listen to me, and listen good. You are not to go over there. Suchin replied with determination. If I don't go, how am I ever going to make your mother bow down to me? I am dying to see that woman swallow her pride. And to do that, I need to get this done. Don't you worry. Before this day is over, that money is going to be sitting in your bank account. Rosie warned, don't you dare go alone. Take Secretary Lu with you, and no matter what happens, do not get into a fight. Suchin flashed a playful grin. My beautiful wife said, no fighting. Now, why would I ever go against her wishes? A short time later, Suchin and Secretary Lu showed up at the Tion Trading Company. The boss of the company sneered, well, look who's here for the money. I'll tell you what, if this pretty little secretary of yours comes to work for me for a week and makes me real happy, then I might just consider paying you back. Otherwise, you could forget about seeing a single dime. So, what's it gonna be? Suchin's face went cold. I had a feeling you'd say something vile like that. Let me give you a little warning. If I don't walk out of here with that money today, you won't be walking out of here at all. The boss roared with laughter. Oh, you've got some nerve, threatening me in my own office, in front of my own men? Guards, show this clown how we do things around here. The guards moved in, looking tough. You picked the wrong day to mess with our boss. We're gonna snap your legs like twigs. But before they could even blink, Suchin moved like a blur, taking them all down without breaking a sweat. Right as the last man fell, Mr. Wong walked into the room. Divine Dr. Su, I finally found you. The boss's face went ghost white. Mr. Wong, what are you doing here? Wong demanded sternly. What is all this? The boss started stammering, Oh, it's nothing, sir. Just a little misunderstanding. This guy was stirring up trouble. I was just about to toss him out. I'm so sorry you had to witness this. Just give me 2 minutes, sir, and I'll have this mess cleaned up. Wong completely ignored him and turned to Suchin with a respectful smile. Divine Doctor, it is a true honor to see you at my company. You see, Tion Trading is one of our Wong Group's subsidiaries. If you ever have any issues with them, you just have to say the word. I'll handle it for you in a heartbeat. Suchin replied coolly. I don't need any help. I just came to collect a debt. Your company borrowed 10 million and then decided not to pay it back. Mr. Wong, I've heard you're a man of honor, but I have to say, I never expected your employees to behave like this. Wong's face turned to thunder. He spun around and slapped the boss so hard it echoed. You worthless idiot. How dare you disrespect the Divine Doctor? If he holds a grudge against me because of you, what in the world am I supposed to do with you? The boss dropped to his knees, trembling. Mr. Wong, I swear, I didn't know he was your guest. Please, forgive me. Wong kicked him again and yelled, This is Divine Dr. Su. You burn that name into your brain. If you cross me, I might let it slide once. But if you cross him, I will personally ruin you. Now give him every last cent of that 10 million, or I better never see your face again." The terrified boss scrambled to hand over the money. "Mr. Su, please. I'm so sorry. I'm just a blind fool who didn't recognize a titan standing before me. Here's the 10 million we owe. I'm begging you, please forgive me." Suchin's voice was ice. "Give the money to Secretary Liu. I'd rather not touch anything that's been in your hands." Mr. Wong, on the other hand, spoke with the utmost respect. "Miracle Doctor, there was something else I hope to discuss." A knowing smile played on Suchin's lips. "Let me take a wild guess. This is about your old man, right? Relax. You don't need to get on your knees or start begging. Just get me a pen and some paper, and I'll write out the prescription for him. And listen up, Mr. Wong. A real doctor never wants to see their patients suffer. But we're just people, you know? Life and death are out of our control. All we can do is try our best. So, don't you ever disrespect a doctor like that again." Mr. Wong bowed his head, saying earnestly, "I understand completely. It will never happen again." Then, Wong whipped around, slapped Madao across the face, and roared, "Are you deaf?" The master asked for a pen and paper. "Get it now." As Madao scrambled away, Suchin scribbled down the prescription and said coolly, "Make sure your father takes this 3 times a day after his meals. He'll be back on his feet in no time." Wong bowed deeply in gratitude. "Thank you, Master Su. Thank you so much." Suchin replied, "Remember this. Bad medicine and bad company should both be avoided. They'll ruin you." Wong nodded in agreement. "You're absolutely right, Master Su." "Hey, Matao, did you hear that? Now, get out of my face. You're fired. Go on, enjoy sitting at home for the rest of your pathetic life. And I'll make sure you're blacklisted. Not a single soul in this city will ever hire you again." Matao dropped to his knees, begging, "Please, Mr. Wong, just one more chance." Wong turned his back, his voice like stone. "Get this useless clown out of here. I never want to lay eyes on him again. Not near my company, not anywhere in this city." Then he spun back to Suchin, his face all smiles. "By the way, Dr. Su, today happens to be my father's 80th birthday. We're having a little get-together. It would be the greatest honor if you would join us. Here, this is our family's exclusive invitation. Only a handful of these exist. With this card, you'll be welcomed as our guest of honor." Suchin thought to himself, "Hey, all that drama and scheming for this one invitation, and now he's just handing it to me on a silver platter." He then cracked a smile and said, "Well, since you're being so sincere about it, how could I possibly say no? I'll be there. Come on, Secretary Liu, let's go." As they walked away, Mr. Wong watched them leave, thinking, "Secretary Liu, she works for Rosie Mang of the Dream Group, but now she's Dr. Su's assistant." And Suchin shows up in town and instantly cures Mang Hao. That's no coincidence. Dr. Su must be incredibly close with the Mang family. If that's the case, then the Mangs are a much bigger deal than I thought. I need to tell Dad we should pursue a business partnership with them. We can always make more money, but having a connection to someone like Dr. Su, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Meanwhile, back at the Mang family residence, Rosie's mother was furious. "I heard you got into a fight with Li Dong today." Rosie simply replied, "I did. He was being a complete jerk." Her mother shrieked, "Have you lost your mind? Do you have any idea how critical the Li family is to our business right now? How could you be so stupid as to pick a fight with them? They were supposed to get us into the Wong family's party tonight, and you just flushed that golden opportunity right down the toilet. I don't care who started it or who was right. You are going to march over there and apologize to Li Dong this instant. I'll book a table at a fancy restaurant, you'll put on a nice dress, and you will beg for his forgiveness. Maybe, just maybe, he'll find it in his heart to forgive you and still take us." Rosie finally snapped, completely fed up. "Mom, how many times do I have to say it? I can run the company on my own. You don't have to keep meddling. If I have what it takes, I'll succeed by myself. We don't need Li Dong or anybody else." Her mother just scoffed. "Oh, is that so? Then why don't you prove it? If you're such a business whiz, go get that Wong family invitation all by yourself." Right on cue, Suchin strolled into the room with a cocky grin on his face. "Well, my dear wife might not have been able to get it, but her husband did." Rosie's mother's eyes nearly popped out of her head. What? What did you just say? Is that really the Wong family's invitation? I don't believe you." Secretary Liu stepped forward respectfully. "Madam, it's the absolute truth. The president of the Wong Corporation gave it to us himself. In fact, he was incredibly respectful towards Mr. Su." Rosie's mother was completely floored. How on earth could the head of the Wong family possibly know a country bumpkin like him? "Spit it out. How much did you pay that man to put on this little show?" Secretary Liu stood her ground. "Madam, I am telling you the truth. I know you have your doubts about Mr. Su, but you can trust me. And if you need more proof, here it is. This is the $10 million check from Tian Trading. He got every last cent back for us." Suchin then added calmly, "I've held up my end of the bargain. Now, mother-in-law, it's your turn to keep your promise." Rosie's mother asked with suspicion, "Is this check even legitimate?" I still have a bad feeling about all this. Rosie, however, hugged Secretary Lu and said gratefully, I trust you both completely. Thank you so much for handling the invitation. Her mother glared and snapped, Don't be so gullible. Both the invitation and the check are obviously forgeries. I've already put a call into Li Dong. He's on his way. You're going to apologize to him tonight. Rosie's anger flared. Mom, what is your problem? How many times do I have to say it? Liang is a disgusting creep. I can't stand him, and besides, have you forgotten? I'm already married. I have such Chen, and I trust him with everything. If he says something, I know it's the truth. Come on, such Chen. Secretary Lu, we're leaving. There's no point wasting our time here, Suchin stated firmly as he turned to go. Mother-in-law, I'll let it slide this once. But the next time you see me, don't forget to bow. Rosie's mother clenched her fists, seething with rage. She thought, that insolent brat. Suchin is poisoning everyone's minds. My husband is already on his side, and now Rosie trusts him completely too. I'm positive he's put some kind of spell on her. Before this, Rosie would hang on my every word, but today, for the very first time, she completely defied me. I will find a way to kick that country bumpkin out of this house, no matter what. Wait, she shouted, I'm coming, too. The scene then shifts to Suchin and Rosie and the others arriving at the Wong family's extravagant birthday gala. Some men standing nearby whispered excitedly, I heard the head of the Wong family is going to personally pick one person from this party to be their new business partner. Whoever gets chosen will be set for life. By the way, Brother Li, where's Mang Rosie? I thought she was your girl. Didn't she come along with you? Liang laughed with arrogance. Girlfriend? You think I'd actually make her my girlfriend? You know your young master's tastes. I get bored of my playthings fast. I never stick with one for more than 2 days. She might be a prize to others, but to me, she's just a used-up toy that I've already tossed aside. Secretary Lu whispered to Rosie's mother in shock. Ma'am, did you hear what he just said? Rosie's mother responded icily. You don't need to make a scene. Besides, no one else heard it but you and me. In the business world, you have to think about the bigger picture. We can't get worked up over trivial matters like this. Then, forcing a polite smile onto her face, Rosie's mother walked over to Liang and said, Young Master Li, it's been far too long since we last saw each other. Why don't you visit our home anymore? Liang's friends began to snicker. Well, look who it is, President Mang. But without an invitation, no one is going to let you in. Unless, of course, you apologize to us. Then maybe we'll help you get inside. But if you try to sneak in and get caught, it'll be incredibly humiliating. Liang smirked. Rosie, your mother is such a kind lady. Out of respect for her, I'm even considering letting you off the hook. Just say you're sorry, and I'll forget the whole thing. Rosie's mother, smiling with hope, said, You really are such a magnanimous man. Young Master Li, Rosie, hurry up and apologize. Opportunities like this don't come around twice. But Rosie and Suchin ignored them completely and kept on walking. Suchin said with a grin, Young Master Li, how's that bladder control of yours? Earlier this morning, when you had that little accident in the car, I thought something so embarrassing shouldn't happen to you again. So, I prepared a special tonic to help you with your self-control. Oh, and I also designed a diaper that can prevent leakage up to 5 times. I call them the Sure Flow Stopper. The tonic also helps with kidney issues. Take it for 1 week and you'll completely forget the feeling of springing a leak. Everyone nearby gasped and started whispering. What? Young Master Li wet his pants? He must have some kind of serious kidney problem. No wonder Rosie kicked him to the curb. Liang's face turned beet red with rage. Suchin, you've gone too far. Meanwhile, Secretary Lu showed their invitation to the security guard. Li Dong froze in utter disbelief. What? They actually have an invitation from the Wong family? How is that even possible? The guard frowned. Sorry, ma'am, but I've never seen this kind of invitation before. Let me check with my manager. Please wait here for a moment. Liang's friends laughed mockingly. What's the point of checking? It's clearly a fake. This is so humiliating for the Mang family. They're a total disgrace. Liang said smugly, Rosie, if you had just stuck with me, none of this would have happened. You can still make this right with a simple apology. Rosie's mother chimed in. That's right, Rosie, just listen to him. I knew from the very beginning that such Chen was a nobody. You'd be better off just dumping him. Rosie shot back, furious. Mom, that's enough. Every time you open your mouth, you just embarrass me. And you, Li Dong, we were business partners. That's the only reason I ever gave you the time of day. But after all this, you've lost every last bit of respect I had for you. You're repulsive, you wet yourself in my car, made a complete mess, and didn't even try to clean it up. I was nice enough not to kick you out right then and there. But clearly, you have no clue how to save face. Honestly, the fact that a grown man like you still has accidents is just hilarious. How can you even show your face in public? Liang snarled, his voice low and angry. You said enough. It looks like you need to be taught a lesson. He lunged for her, but Suchin snatched his wrist out of the air and said coldly, That little bladder issue of yours can probably be fixed, but if I snap your hand right now, it's never going to heal properly. I'll mess you up so badly. You won't even be able to manage putting on one of those adult diapers. So, back off while you still have the choice. Liang stammered. This is outrageous. That accident last time only happened because of you. It wasn't my fault. Suchin smirked. You mean you were so terrified of me that you lost control? Liang yelled in frustration. That's not it at all. I've had enough of this. Everyone, get him. But before a single person could lay a hand on such Chen, a commanding voice boomed. Who would dare to raise a hand against an honored guest of the Wong family? Everyone turned to look. The Wong family's manager had arrived. Liang let out a nervous laugh. See, Rosie, even the Wong family shows me respect. I'm one of their honored guests. Now you see what a huge mistake you've made by crossing me. But in the very next moment, the Wong family's bodyguards seized Liang and slammed him to the ground. Liang shrieked. You've made a mistake. I'm the guest. Not that loser, such Chen. Throw him out. The manager gave a slight bow and said respectfully, My apologies for the delay, Miss Mang. Here is your invitation. Everything appears to be in order. Rosie smiled with pride. Yes, that's ours. She thought to herself, the Wong family staff usually only shows respect to the most powerful families. For their manager to personally treat us with such deference, just how important is such Chen to them? The manager then continued, We sincerely apologize for the trouble our honored guests experienced at the entrance. Please accept our apologies for this misunderstanding. The onlookers were all stunned. What? The Mang family are honored guests? But they didn't even have an invitation a minute ago. How did things change so fast? Rosie's mother whispered in disbelief, Honored guests. So, the invitation was real after all. Secretary Liu said proudly, I told you so from the very beginning. The president of the Wong family personally gave that invitation to brother Such Chin, and he treated him with the highest respect. Rosie thought, an invitation so rare that practically no one ever gets one, and it was handed to Such Chen personally by the head of the Wong family. Just who is Such Chen, really? Meanwhile, Rosie's mother was thinking, this has to be the old man's doing. There's no other way to explain it. Then, the Wong family's manager announced coldly, Young Master Li of the Li family, you had the audacity to offend our honored guest. If you had merely insulted a regular member of the Wong family, we might have been able to let it slide, but you disrespected an individual whose status is equal to that of our own family head. Therefore, as of this moment, the Wong family is officially blacklisting the entire Li family. I trust that no member of your family will ever set foot on Wong family property again, not even accidentally. Liang stammered, his face pale with panic. How can you do this to us? Our families have been acquainted for years. The manager thought to himself, this idiot has absolutely no idea who he just picked a fight with. That invitation the Mang family is holding, it's a VVIP invitation. In the entire history of the Wong family, only 3 people have ever received one. Our code of conduct is explicit. You can offend anyone, but you must never offend the holder of a VVIP card. Their status surpasses even that of our family head. If Suchin is the one with that card, then his identity must be something truly extraordinary. Soon after, the Mang family made their entrance into the grand party. A waiter greeted them with a bow. Welcome, honored guests. Please, take your seats in the front row. A man standing nearby muttered sarcastically. Well, I never thought I'd see the day the Mang family got front row seats. I guess their patriarch isn't kicking the bucket just yet. Even if he's a total mess, their dream group is somehow still afloat. Well, soak it up while you can. Because once our excellence group inks a deal with the Wongs, you'll be nothing but a memory in the business world. Rosie grumbled under her breath. This creep, Shaoli, can he ever say something decent? Suchin noted silently. So, this clown is from the Excellence Group, the same crew that tried to jump us earlier. Rosie then turned to her secretary. Go get the gift we had fixed up for Elder Wong. The contract isn't set in stone yet. Maybe this present will sway him. Shaoli scoffed. You guys actually think you can whip out some trinket that'll impress the Wong family? Seriously, you all need to get your heads checked. If you had anything the Wongs actually wanted, you wouldn't even be in this room right now. Right on cue, someone called out, Everyone, on your feet. Elder Wong has arrived. A wave of excitement rippled through the crowd. Elder Wong is about to declare the Wong family's new partnership with the Xiao family. It's not official, but it's pretty much a done deal. Shaoli couldn't help but grin smugly. Today is Elder Wong's birthday, and he's one of the biggest shots in this city. So, as a present, I'm giving him the #1 villa in the entire city. The room erupted in gasps. What? The top villa? A legendary master architect built that place. The rumor is, anyone who lives there gets a major upgrade to their luck. We're talking wealth, happiness, the whole 9 yards. No wonder that place costs a king's ransom. The Excellence Group really pulled out all the stops. Shaoli smirked. Why? Thank you for the compliment. We just did what was fitting for a man of Elder Wong's stature. I mean, to him, that villa is probably just a cozy little cottage. That's when Rosie stood up, looking completely unfazed, and announced, I'm Mang Rosie of the Dream Group, and for Elder Wong's birthday, I've brought a masterpiece forged by the great drunken master himself. The crowd absolutely lost it. Did she just say, the drunken master, the legendary artisan who hasn't been seen in public for 10 years? His work goes for hundreds of millions, minimum. The Dream Group has been on the ropes for years. How on earth could they get their hands on one of his pieces? If what she's saying is true, then nothing else at this party even comes close in value. A piece from the drunken master is literally priceless. Suchin had to bite his tongue to keep from laughing. Why are they making such a big deal about my master? Do his trinkets really sell for billions these days? They've got to be confused. That masterpiece she's talking about? My master slapped that thing together while he was half asleep right in front of me. These city folks are so dramatic. Shali let out a mocking laugh. I'll give you this. President Mang, you really went to a lot of trouble for that gift, but let's be real. It's a waste of time. It's not going to change a thing. Rosie shot back firmly. We'll see about that. Just then, Elder Wong took the stage and began warmly, thank you, everyone, for joining me to celebrate my birthday today. On this happy occasion, I have a very important announcement to make. Shali smirked to himself, full of confidence. After this, our excellence group is going to leave their little dream group in the dust, Elder Wong went on. But before I get to that, I want to offer my deepest thanks to someone very special. You could say the only reason I'm alive and standing here today is because of this person. Without them, my 80th birthday party wouldn't even be happening. Shali frowned, totally confused. Who could have possibly saved Elder Wong's life? Rosie was wondering the same thing. Whoever this person is, they have to be a major player. The entire Wong family must owe them big time. Then, to the shock of everyone in the room, Elder Wong started walking straight for Suchin. Rosie's eyes went wide. Elder Wong is heading right for Suchin, and Secretary Liu did say that President Wong himself showed Suchin a great deal of respect. Could it be? Was the person who saved Elder Wong's life actually Suchin? But before she could process that thought, Suchin suddenly felt a bizarre spiritual energy in the hall. Suchin said calmly, "Be right back." At the same time, he was thinking, spiritual energy coming from a regular person? That's never a good sign. I need to track down the source of this weird energy. Meanwhile, Elder Wong was thinking to himself, why did Dr. Su just get up and leave? Does he think I'm not even worthy of his time? Countless great doctors, the best in the nation, have tried to treat me, and every single one of them said my condition was incurable. But Dr. Su, with just a single needle, he cured me completely. What he did is something not even a Grandmaster level healer could pull off. If he's on a level even higher than that, well, then it all makes sense. I'm not even worthy of shaking his hand. Honestly, the fact that he didn't shake mine isn't the least bit offensive. I'm actually just relieved I didn't do anything to upset him. Maybe he just doesn't want to reveal his true identity and prefers to live a quiet life. That's probably why he left so discreetly. Even so, helping the Mang family, who are close to him, is still a way to get on his good side. If I help his people, I'm indirectly helping him. Elder Wong raised his glass warmly and said, President Mang, this toast is for you. Rosie smiled politely. Elder Wong, you're far too kind. Suchin approached a nearby object, thinking, just as I suspected. This spiritual energy is malevolent, not benevolent. Someone's trying to place a curse here, and it seems to be aimed at Elder Wong, likely for supporting the Mang family. I can't just let him get hurt. He quietly released a burst of his power and obliterated the curse. Well, I've got time to kill, and this party is a bore anyway. Now, let's see who brought a cursed artifact into this place. Meanwhile, Shaoli was getting nervous. Since when did the Mang family get so buddy-buddy with the Wongs, sharing a drink with Elder Wong himself? That's a huge deal. And the fact that he approached Rosie first makes it even worse. Our partnership could be in jeopardy. Still, I already have a verbal agreement with President Wong. A man of his stature has to be good for his word. Elder Wong stood up and announced, it's time for my big announcement. The Wong family already has a presence in nearly every major industry. The only one we have yet to enter is the beauty industry, where the Dream Group already holds a formidable reputation. Therefore, I am pleased to announce a partnership between the Wong Corporation and the Dream Group. We hope to join their legacy and achieve even greater success together. President Mang Rosie, would you be willing to work with us? Rosie replied gratefully, it would be my honor, Elder Wong. Shali froze, completely stunned. What just happened? The members of the Mang family were ecstatic. This is unbelievable. What an incredible turn of events. Elder Wong then turned to the Xiao family and said diplomatically, the Xiao family may not be our partner this time, but that doesn't mean you aren't a worthy candidate. It's simply that we found a more suitable match this time. Inwardly, Elder Wong thought, in the beauty industry, the Excellence Group is actually larger than the Dream Group. From a pure business standpoint, they would have been the obvious choice. But some things are more important than business, like the life I owe to Dr. Suchin. Because of him, this opportunity belongs to the Dream Group. Xiaoli's face twisted in a furious scowl. Wang Jianyu, you've made a huge mistake siding with them. At one time, the Dream Group was far bigger than us, but we used every ruthless tactic in the book to crush them. Now that you've chosen to stand against us, you'll soon live to regret it. Xiaoli suddenly smirked and said aloud, Mr. Wang, I didn't just prepare that villa for you. I have another special gift. Elder Wong looked surprised. Another gift? Rosie thought uneasily. But we've already secured the partnership. Why is Xiaoli still trying to stir up trouble? Then, Xiaoli ordered his men to bring forward a mysterious artifact. He said proudly, "We heard you have a particular fondness for rare artifacts, so I spent 300 million to acquire this one. Even though our partnership didn't pan out, I still wish to present this to you. This piece will enhance your fortune and prosperity. And the best part is, a famous master infused it with his own spiritual power. It will even improve your health." Mr. Wong, Elder Wong smiled. "I'm touched. You members of the Xiao family are truly thoughtful. I almost feel bad for not choosing you as a partner." Xiaoli smirked to himself. "That's exactly why I gave it to you. The moment you touch this artifact, the curse will take hold. You'll fall completely under my control. Once that happens, you'll obey my every command. Partnership, that's nothing. I could make you hand over the entire Wong Corporation if I wanted." Elder Wong reached out and took the artifact in his hands. Xiaoli thought triumphantly, "It's done." Then he leaned forward and said smugly, "Elder Wong, could you repeat that for me? I don't think I quite heard you. Who did you say the Wong family's next partner is?" Elder Wong looked at him coolly. "What's the matter, Mr. Xiao? Even at your young age, your hearing is already starting to fail you? Fine, I'll repeat myself. I chose the Mang family." Xiaoli's temper finally snapped. He grabbed Elder Wong's arm and shouted, "Old man, have you lost your mind? You were supposed to pick us." Elder Wong shot him a freezing glare. "I'm not the one who's lost it, Mr. Xiao. You are. Get this man out of here and let him cool off." As guards rushed in and grabbed Xiaoli's arms, he struggled wildly, shouting, "What in the world is going on? Why isn't any of this going according to plan? I paid that phony master billions for just one spell. Why isn't it working? Did that old fraud cheat me?" Meanwhile, nervous whispers spread through the crowd. "What's gotten into Xiaoli? He looks like he's possessed." All the while, Rosie's mother was beaming with pride, saying, "I knew it. My daughter really is the best." Secretary Lu chimed in with relief. "President, all our hard work wasn't for nothing." Elder Wong stood and addressed the room. "My apologies for that little disruption. Let's not let it spoil our evening. Please, let the celebration continue." Meanwhile, Rosie, still completely baffled, thought to herself, what on earth was that with Xiaoli? He seemed like he was totally possessed. And where did Chen suddenly run off to? He's such a strange guy. One second he's right here, and the next he's just vanished. She turned as he reappeared beside her and asked, "Where did you go?" Chen replied nonchalantly, "Oh, just had to use the restroom." Rosie offered a small smile. "You won't believe it. The Wong Corporation actually chose us as their business partners. But isn't that bizarre? Xiaoli was so sure he had it in the bag, yet somehow we're the ones they chose." Chen just shrugged with a grin. "That's fate for you. It can change in an instant. Anyway, congratulations, Rosie." She asked curiously, "Did you have something to do with this?" Chen just smirked. "Who's to say? Maybe it wasn't me. Maybe I'm just a lucky guy. But if you're going to call me your good luck charm, the least you could do is treat me to dinner." Rosie's mother cut in irritably. "Darling, you are so naive. Giving credit to this country hick? It was obviously your grandfather who used his influence. He probably called in a favor with an old friend. That's the only logical explanation. This has nothing to do with Chen's so-called luck." Rosie replied thoughtfully, "But I remember Grandpa always wanted to partner with the Wong family. He just never got the chance. If he really had a powerful friend who could set all this up, wouldn't he have done it a long time ago?" Her mother shot back, "You clearly have no idea what your grandfather is capable of. Let me tell you something. The main estate of the Mang family is in Tanu City. If you want to understand just how powerful our family truly is, you better listen up. Even the four great Wong families combined couldn't hold a candle to a single branch of the Mangs. Your grandfather left the main family ages ago, and you know how stubborn he is. Once he walked away, he never looked back. But if we were to ask for their help, even today, there's not a single problem in this entire country our family couldn't solve." Rosie blinked in surprise, thinking, "We actually have a main residence? Grandpa never told me that. If Grandpa really does have such powerful connections, then maybe he was involved after all. Because if Chen was the one who pulled this off, why would he have just disappeared like that? Maybe I'm just reading too much into this." Rosie's mother then turned to Chen and snapped, "All right, Chen, I've said enough. I'm thirsty. Go get me a glass of water." Chen replied with a lazy drawl, "I was just gaming on my phone for a bit. My hands are sore, so unfortunately, I can't get you any water right now." Rosie's mother scolded, "You can't do one simple thing for your mother-in-law?" Chen answered coolly, "You're the one who made a promise. Remember? You said you would officially accept me as your son-in-law, but you never did. Until that happens, I can't exactly treat you like my mother-in-law. The day you accept me as family is the day I'll start acting like it. For now, I'm hungry and I'm going to get something to eat." Just then, a waiter approached Chen. "Young master, Elder Wong wishes to see you." At that exact moment, Liang sidled up to Rosie's mother and said smoothly, "If you're feeling thirsty, I can get you some water. Why waste your breath on that Chen fellow? Rosie's mother looked up, surprised. Liang, what are you doing here? Liang just smiled. There was a small misunderstanding earlier, but I've already cleared it up. That's why I'm back. Rosie scowled at him. What are you doing here, Liang? Liang immediately adopted a soft, pleading tone. Please, Rosie, don't be angry. I admit I went too far earlier, but it's only because I've always cared about you. I'm sorry. Please, forgive me. Bribing the guards to get in here cost me a pretty penny, but after she forgives me, I'm going to teach her a lesson she'll never forget, Rosie said with a chill in her voice. You must have heard we're official partners with the Wong family now. So what? You're here to suck up to us? Liang quickly shook his head. No, it's not like that at all. I just came to apologize for how I acted before. If you drink this glass of wine I brought, I'll know we're good. Rosie's mother urged her on. Go on, Rosie. Please, just do it. Rosie sighed. Fine, Mom, but I'm only doing this for you. A small smile crept onto Liang's face. Just as I thought, our Rosie Mang is the most beautiful girl in the entire city. But as Rosie took a sip, her brow furrowed. Something's off about this wine. Why does it taste so weird? Liang leaned in. What's the matter, Rosie? Your face is all red. Are you feeling okay? Rosie's head started to spin. Why am I suddenly burning up? I need to get to the restroom and splash some water on my face before I completely lose it. Liang trailed after her, faking concern. Here, let me help you see a doctor. Rosie struggled feebly. Get your hands off me. Her mother saw her stumbling and asked with worry in her voice, Rosie, what's wrong? Why can't you walk straight? Liang's right. You should let him take you to a doctor. Rosie tried to object. No, I can manage on my own. Liang smoothly reassured her mother. Don't you worry, Auntie. I'll make sure she's well taken care of. Rosie's mother hesitated, a thought crossing her mind. Why do I have such a bad feeling about this? No, I must be overthinking things. Liang is an old friend. He would never do anything to hurt her. Meanwhile, Liang was dragging Rosie down to the basement and shoving her into his car. A sneer on his face. Rosie, always acting so high and mighty. Just look at you now, completely helpless. You have no clue what I have in store for you. You're going to be my ticket straight into the Wong family. I can't wait to see the look on Su Chen's face when you dump him for me. We'll see how he takes that. But just as he leaned in, a metal pipe came flying through the air and slammed right into Liang's neck, sending him crashing to the floor, his body twitching uncontrollably. Su Chen emerged from the shadows, his voice ice cold. You city folk are just pathetic. You find someone weaker than you, and you bully them without a second thought. But the second you run into someone stronger, you grovel like pathetic dogs. You have no backbone. You just get your kicks from hurting people. Now, I'm going to make sure you're so messed up, you won't even be able to lift a glass of water for the rest of your days. With that, he grabbed Liang and tossed him aside like a piece of trash. You're going to regret this for as long as you live, and from this day forward, you'll never hurt another soul again. He then gently lifted the unconscious Rosie into his arms, who was still out cold, and muttered to himself, Good thing I got here when I did. If anything had happened to her, I don't know how I could ever face Grandpa. Even passed out, Rosie instinctively held on to him. Su Chen let out a soft chuckle. Well, there are certainly some perks to saving a damsel in distress. As he carried her out, he told a nearby waiter, have my car brought around immediately, and let Elder Wong know I'm taking off. The waiter spotted the VVIP symbol on Su Chen's card and bowed deeply. Right away, sir. Just give us 2 seconds. Your car will be here in a moment. Later, back at the house, Grandpa Mang asked anxiously, Su Chen, what happened to Rosie? Did she have too much to drink? Why is her face so flushed? Is she sick? Su Chen shook his head. No, Grandpa. Someone slipped something in her drink. Grandpa was stunned. What? Who would dare pull a stunt like that? Su Chen gently laid Rosie down and said, she'll be fine in about 2 hours. The stuff has no permanent side effects. Grandpa's fists tightened in rage. I want to know who that scumbag is. Whoever tried to hurt my granddaughter is going to pay. Big time. I don't care if I have to burn this whole city to the ground to find him. I will not let this slide. Su Chen replied, it was Li Dong, from the Li family. But that's not all. The kind of stuff he used. There's no way a guy like him could get his hands on it alone. It means someone powerful is pulling his strings. Someone who wants to bring our family down. The scene cuts to the Xiao family mansion. Xiao Li asked one of his men, did you handle what I told you to? The man nodded. Yes, young master. Everything went exactly as planned. I gave that moron Li Dong the substance you wanted me to. Even with the Wong family blacklisting him, I still managed to slip him into the party. By now, he's definitely done what we wanted. Xiao Li smirked. Excellent. One way or another, that Wong family partnership will be ours. And as for that Rosie girl, she's going to pay dearly for crossing us. Just then, his phone buzzed. It was Liang's father. Xiao Li frowned, thinking, why would old Mr. Li be calling me at a time like this? That idiot Dong must have screwed something up. He answered the call. Mr. Li, what a surprise. To what do I owe the pleasure? Liang's father screamed into the phone. You have the gall to ask me that after what you've done? You really have no idea, do you? What did you do to my son? Do you have any clue what kind of state he's in? Ever since he got home, he hasn't said a single coherent word, just spouting nonsense. Shaoli was floored. What are you talking about? His mind is broken, Liang's father roared. He came back a complete wreck. The doctor said he might never be the same. I asked around at the party. People told me he only talked to 2 people before it happened, your boy Hao and Mang Rosie from that Mang family. That's why I'm calling you. You better start explaining everything right now. Shaoli sighed and said smoothly, well, since it's come to this, I won't hide anything. I don't think you're aware of what your son was up to. He was completely obsessed with Mang Rosie, but she turned him down and married someone else. That humiliation drove him over the edge. From what I've gathered, he tried to pull some underhanded stunt at the party tonight. So naturally, the Mang family must have pushed back. Or maybe one of Rosie's many admirers decided to teach him a lesson, personally. No matter how you slice it, this all started because of Rosie, Liang's father growled. So, it was because of that girl, Mang Rosie. We did so much to prop up that pathetic Mang family, and this is the thanks we get. They are going to regret this. I swear, I'll bring them to ruin. Shaoli replied with confidence, Mr. Li, we've been partners for years. What happened to your son genuinely breaks my heart. Give me 1 week, and I'll have the entire Mang family on their knees begging you for forgiveness. If I can't do that, then I'm not worthy of being called Shaoli. Liang's father said coldly, fine. Since you're my son's best friend, I'll give you this one chance. I want to see results in 7 days. After hanging up, he gazed at his son and muttered, my boy, don't you worry. The people who did this to you won't be around to see another week. Meanwhile, Li Dong, lying paralyzed in his hospital bed, could only dart his eyes around. Dad, help me. I'm not in a coma. I can see and hear everything, but I can't move a muscle. I can't even make a sound. I have no idea what that Suchin guy did to me, but I'm completely trapped in my own body. The scene changes to the Wong family's hotel. Elder Wong said, Brother Jian, Master Suchin will be arriving any moment. I'm positive he can help you with your problem. Jiang replied, I'm very curious to meet this young man who earned your complete trust so quickly, Elder Wong. Talented young people like him are a rare breed these days. This man was Jiang Ju, the director of the Food and Medicine Department. Just then, Suchin walked in and said politely, Elder Wong, you sent for me. Elder Wong smiled warmly. Ah, Master Su, please, come in. Yesterday, you mentioned needing some medicinal herbs. I've gathered them all for you in this box. Suchin thought to himself, there's an incredible spiritual energy radiating from this box. I have to say, the Wong family's network is seriously impressive. He said aloud, you've gathered everything I asked for. This is perfect. Elder Wong nodded. I'm happy I could be of service, Master Su. Actually, I invited you today to introduce you to my good friend, Mr. Jian. He's been suffering from a debilitating headache and fever for some time now. He's been to countless doctors, but nothing seems to work. Is there anything you can do for him? Suchin replied thoughtfully. Physically, he appears to be in good health. The problem isn't with his body, it's with his spirit. There is a malevolent entity attached to him. Elder Wong was shocked. What, a malevolent entity? Suchin asked calmly. Mr. Jiang, did you happen to move into a new home recently? Jiang shook his head. No, I haven't moved. Suchin pressed on. Then are you staying over at a friend's house? Perhaps? Jiang scowled with irritation. That's enough. What is all this nonsense you're spouting? Elder Wong jumped in. Brother Jian, why are you getting so worked up? Jiang snapped back. How am I supposed to react, Brother Wong? You must be going senile from your own sickness. My head is killing me, and now this kid is telling me I'm haunted by a ghost? Who in this day and age believes in that kind of garbage? I sure don't. I'm out of here. Suchin sighed. Look, it makes no difference to me whether you believe me or not, but since you've questioned my skills, please accept this as a gift. It will shield you from harm and keep that entity at bay. Here, take this talisman. It'll shield you from danger 3 times. Jiang scoffed. Oh, let me guess. Now you're going to tell me this little piece of paper is worth 10 or 15 million? Isn't that your whole scam, trying to squeeze money out of people? Suchin replied firmly, I don't want your money. Just take it. Jiang's eyes widened just a bit. What in the world is with this guy's strength? He's barely even holding my wrist, but I can't break free no matter how hard I try. Elder Wong then spoke with a serious tone. Brother Jiang, we've known each other since we were kids. For old time's sake, please just accept what Dr. Su is offering and keep it on you. Jiang grumbled in response. Fine, old Wong. The only reason I'm taking this is for you. I can't believe you'd pull the friendship card to make me take something this ridiculous. With that, he stormed off. Elder Wong turned to Suchin, his expression apologetic. Divine Dr. Su, please forgive him. My friend hasn't been well for a while now, and it's made him quite irritable. He didn't mean any offense. Suchin replied calmly, he's not at fault. It's rare for anyone these days to believe in things like spirits or curses. However, I strongly advise you to watch him closely. He's in grave danger. The negative aura around him is already draining his vitality. So if he says anything strange or harsh, please don't take it personally. He isn't in his right mind. Elder Wong nodded. I understand. Divine Doctor. I'll be sure to watch over him. As for the herbs you requested, I'll have them ready for you shortly. The scene then shifts to the Mang mansion. Rosie's mother was pacing back and forth, consumed by anxiety. Old Wong told me Rosie and Suchin left the party early last night. I have no idea if they even made it home. Just then, Grandpa Mang walked in and said sternly, well, look who finally decided to grace us with her presence. The queen herself has arrived. Rosie's mother looked flustered. Dad, I had a little too much to drink last night, so I just crashed at a friend's place. Anyway, where's Rosie? She okay? She went with Leon to see a doctor last night, didn't she? Without warning, Grandpa Mang slapped her hard across the face, and tears immediately welled up in her eyes. Dad, why would you hit me? Grandpa Mang roared. You're asking me why? Your daughter's life was almost ruined last night. How could you possibly leave her alone with that animal? Leon, do you have any idea what he tried to do to her? Rosie's mother was in shock. What? Dad, what are you talking about? That monster, Leon, tried to hurt Rosie? I have to see her. She's okay, right? She bolted towards Rosie's room, calling out, My baby, are you all right? Rosie just gave a faint nod. Yes, I'm fine, Grandpa Mang said sternly. Of course she's fine. That's because Suchin was there to protect her. If he hadn't been, I don't even want to think about what might have happened last night. Rosie's mother stammered. But Dad, how could I have known what kind of person Leon really was? It's not my fault. My friends swore he was a decent guy. That's the only reason I trusted him with Rosie. But don't you worry. I'm going to make that so-called friend of mine pay for this. Then, turning to Rosie, her voice softened. Rosie, please, can you forgive your mother for this? Rosie's reply was ice cold. I'm leaving. I'll be gone for a few days. I'm going to stay at the office. I just can't be here right now. Her mother pleaded, Please don't go, sweetheart. Rosie stated firmly, I already told you. I'll be at the company. Her mother said, her voice filled with desperation, Trust me, Rosie. I'll cut off that friend who told me about Leon completely. At that, Rosie finally snapped. Her voice shook with rage. Just stop pretending, Mom. Even after you saw the state I was in last night, you still left me alone with that monster. If something had actually happened, it would have been all your fault. You've already done more than enough. Please, just don't do anything else. Her mother stood there, frozen, as Rosie turned her back and walked away. She whispered to herself, I never imagined Rosie could hate me this much. Grandpa interjected angrily. After everything that just happened, you seriously think your daughter has no right to be angry with you? What kind of a mother are you? You abandoned your own child with a predator like Leon and didn't even bat an eye. You were out partying all night while Rosie's life was on the line. Her anger is more than justified. As Rosie stormed out of the house, Suchen, who was watching, called out jokingly, Well, it looks like Miss Mang is off on an adventure. So, where are you headed, Miss Mang? Rosie replied calmly, I'm going to stay at the office for a few days. There's just too much work to get done. Suchen effortlessly picked up her bag and put it in the car, remarking, trading a cozy home for a stuffy office. Huh? Now that's what I call true dedication. As he turned toward her, Rosie grabbed his hand, saying, There's a shareholders meeting today. You're coming with me. Suchin groaned. I literally just got in the door, and you're already trying to drag me back out? Nevertheless, they soon arrived at the Dream Group headquarters, where Secretary Liu rushed over, her face clouded with worry. President, we have a major problem. The Food and Medicine Department has launched a surprise inspection on our project, the very one we've been pouring everything into for 6 months. They're claiming we never had permission to start production. Rosie frowned. Asterisk, what kind of nonsense is this? Asterisk, she thought. We've been working on the White and Lovely Cream project for 6 months straight. All the paperwork was completed and approved. How could this possibly happen today? Of all days, the same day as our shareholders' meeting? This is too much of a coincidence. Someone inside this company must be behind it, Rosie said firmly. Take me there. I want to see for myself exactly what's going on. As they walked, Xiao Fan appeared, putting on a show of concern. Rosie, what's all this about? The entire White and Lovely project was finished and just about ready for launch. How could a problem like this just pop up now? If this cream fails the inspection, we stand to lose billions of dollars. You do understand the company's financial situation, right? We only had the budget to develop this product one time. If it gets scrapped, we can't afford to make it again. Rosie replied sharply. Yes, I'm well aware, and for the record, I am the owner of this company. I think I know how to handle my own business. Suchin leaned closer to Rosie and whispered, Who is this guy? The secretary whispered back, His name is Xiao Feiyan. After the Mang family, he's the second largest shareholder in the company. Meanwhile, Feiyan smirked to himself. Asterisk. You worked so hard on this, poured all your money and effort into it. Asterisk. Asterisk, and you never even realized I was plotting against you the whole time. Once this project implodes, your precious Mang family will be completely ruined. Asterisk. Asterisk. The shareholders will force you out, and I'll take full control of the company. Asterisk. Just then, a female officer stepped forward. Stop right there, Miss Mang. You cannot interfere with our work. She was Officer Qian Bing from the Food and Medicine Department. Rosie greeted her politely. Hello, I'm Mang Rosie, president of the Dream Group. Regarding this product you're inspecting, we already secured official approval a long time ago. The product is complete. So, what's the issue? Officer Qian replied sternly. We've already checked your documents. Interestingly, your approval papers are missing our department's official seal. Can you explain that? It looks like your company might have used a forged document. Therefore, we'll have to take you downtown for questioning. Rosie was in shock. Asterisk. How is that possible? Asterisk, she thought. Asterisk. Only 2 people handled the approval papers, myself and Secretary Liu. Asterisk. Asterisk. Grandpa was too sick at the time, so I had Liu submit the documents. Asterisk. Rosie turned to her secretary and asked, Liu, who did you give the approval documents to? Liu replied nervously. I handed them to Director Feiyan. He said he would submit them personally, claiming he had the support of several shareholders, so I gave them to him. Rosie's eyes widened in realization. Asterisk. That means Feiyan never actually submitted the documents. He filed fake ones instead. Asterisk. Asterisk. This was his scheme from the very beginning. Asterisk. Rosie said calmly, trying to reason with Officer Qian. Officer, I think there's been a misunderstanding. We do have the genuine approval papers. If you give us a little time, I can bring you the copies. Officer Qian hesitated. She knew Rosie was telling the truth. She thought, asterisk, it's true. The company did have the proper documents. They just weren't submitted. What I'm doing right now is wrong, but I have no other choice. Asterisk, her father was gravely ill, and the doctor treating him was under Feiyan's control. Asterisk, if I defy him, my father could die. I can't let that happen. I have to play along. Asterisk. At that moment, Qian's phone buzzed. It was a message from Feiyan. It read, Your father's life is in our hands. I hope you don't make a mistake. You'll regret it. Qian's hands trembled. Asterisk, that bastard is threatening me, but I have no other choice. Asterisk. She looked up, her expression turning to ice, and said, You're out of chances. Guards, detain them. The guards stepped forward. Miss, if you refuse to cooperate, we'll be forced to use physical means. But before they could move, Chen stepped in front of Rosie and said calmly, Step back. There's no need for violence. We only asked for a fair chance, and you wouldn't even grant us that. It seems you people have no idea how to do your jobs properly. Rosie glanced at such Chen, realizing he was right. He's completely right. We shouldn't resist now. If Feiyan planned all this, these officers must be connected to him. We need to stay calm and find a way out of this situation carefully, Secretary Liu said nervously. President, this is all my fault. Because of me, you're facing so many problems. Rosie replied calmly, If we haven't done anything wrong, then we have nothing to fear. Meanwhile, Feiyan watched everything unfold and smirked to himself. Finally, that thorn named Rosie is out of my way for good. When everyone believes the project has failed and that she's unfit to lead the company, I'll step in, present the real documents, and save the situation. The company will be mine, and I'll become president. Just then, such Chen's phone rang. As he reached for it, Officer Khan stopped him. You're not allowed to answer this call, she said, grabbing the phone. She picked it up, and on the other end was Director Jian. Khan said, I don't care who you are, but Chen can't take this call right now. We're taking him to the Food and Medicine Department for investigation. If you have any important business, meet him there. She hung up and handed the phone back to Chen. Director Jiang frowned. My department's officers have detained Chen. What on earth is going on? I need to look into this immediately. Scene shifts inside the interrogation room. Officer Qian asked sternly, Tell me, why did you people submit fake documents? Chen replied calmly, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've only been working at the company for a few days. I have nothing to do with any of the older materials. Qian folded her arms. We've discovered that you have 0 work experience. So tell me, how did someone like you get a job as the president's assistant in such a big company? She thought to herself. He must be some spoiled young master from a rich family who got this position through connections. If I pressure him a little, he's bound to spill something. Anything I get out of him could be enough to destroy Rosie completely. Chen smirked and said lightly, How should I know why such a big company hired me? Maybe they just like my handsome face. Qian snapped angrily. You think this is a joke? Your boss has already confessed everything. Start talking now or we'll have to use force. Chen replied coolly. Do whatever you have to, but I can't tell you something I don't know. Qian clenched her fists. Then you leave me no choice. You need to be taught a lesson. Chen leaned back and smiled. Oh, really? What lesson will you teach me? Officer, if it's something new, I'm all yours. Qian was getting frustrated. No matter how I threaten him, he doesn't even flinch. He's too calm, as if he's used to this. Am I really going to have to use force? Just then, the door opened and Director Jiang entered the room. He said sharply, Officer Khan, what exactly do you think you're doing? Khan froze in panic. Director, what are you doing here? Did you need something? Director Jang said sternly. Yes. If you're detaining the man who saved my life, then of course I had to come here myself. Keen blinked in shock. What? The man who saved your life? Who are you talking about? Suchin smiled faintly. Director Jian, you've changed a lot. Weren't you the one who called me a fraud? Since when did you start respecting me so much? Director Jang immediately bowed slightly. Divine Dr. Su, please forgive me. You're not just an excellent doctor, you're a true spiritual master. Everything you said to me came true today. First, my car was hit in a high-speed accident, but no one was hurt. Both cars were destroyed, but we survived. My talisman burned slightly, just as you said it would during the first danger. Then, when I was walking home, a flower pot fell from the 7th floor. It landed right in front of me. I missed it by mere inches. The talisman burned again, and finally my car brakes failed while driving, but somehow the car stopped on its own. The talisman caught fire completely and turned to ash. You told me I'd face 3 great dangers, and that the talisman would protect me each time. You were absolutely right. After the 3rd, it disappeared. And that's when I realized how wrong I was to doubt you. Please forgive me, Divine Doctor. I was blind to your power. A stupid man like me has no right to stand before you. I don't even know how to properly apologize. Officer Kian is less than Unk is greater than S. Face turned pale. Director Jian is bowing to such Chen. I'm finished. There's no way I'm keeping my job after this. Suchin said calmly, there's no need to apologize. I forgave you a long time ago for old Wong's sake. Besides, you weren't in your right mind. I understand why you acted that way. Director Jiang said with gratitude, thank you. Dr. Su, I owe you a great deal. Then he turned. And as for Officer Khan, the person you were told to have come meet Suchin at the department, that was me. And that's precisely why I've personally reviewed this entire case. The Dream Group project you brought these people in for, it was already approved. Yes, they were late submitting the official documents. For that, you should have issued a warning or a minor penalty, not drag them down here like common criminals. You didn't even give them a chance to submit their paperwork. Tell me, Officer Khan, did you abuse your authority? Are you working for Faya now instead of this department? He glared at her. Did you really believe I wouldn't uncover your little side deal? Khan pleaded desperately. Director, please, just give me a chance to explain. Director Jang cut her off coldly. Take her away. I have no interest in hearing excuses from someone who can't even perform their duty with integrity. The guards immediately escorted Officer Khan out of the room. Suchin then said quietly, thank you for your assistance, Director. So, do you believe me now? By the way, the negative aura around you has only been suppressed. It hasn't been permanently cured. Director Jang nodded respectfully. Understood, Dr. Su. I'll make sure to get that handled. But first, let's settle this Dream Group matter. The scene shifts to the Dream Group shareholders meeting, where one shareholder was speaking nervously. I heard a rumor that President Rosie has been arrested. Is that really true? Another replied with anxiety. If it is, our company's reputation is completely ruined. What's going to happen to us now? Fine spoke with a smug tone. It seems most of you are still in the dark about what's really happening. Let me spell it out for you. Rosie has been detained by the Food and Medicine Department. They're claiming there's a problem with our approval documents, which, by the way, Rosie prepared herself. To be blunt, I don't see her coming back from this. She's done for. Rosie's father sat in silence, deep in thought. When I heard about my father's illness, I rushed back immediately, only to find the company in complete chaos. Ever since Rosie became president, she's managed everything perfectly. So, how on earth could something like this have happened? Fine continued confidently. There's no point in denying the truth. Our company's reputation has taken a massive blow. If Rosie remains our president, it will be impossible for us to recover. At that moment, one of the shareholders shot to his feet and declared, everyone in this industry knows how serious this is. Once the Food and Medicine Department gets involved, the company is finished. We have invested billions into this project. Why didn't Rosie handle the approval correctly? We deserve an explanation. Another shareholder added, and if she's found guilty, do you honestly think she'll ever get out? I've said it from the beginning. A woman can't manage a corporation of this size. We should have chosen Fian as president from the start. Making Rosie the president was a colossal mistake. Rosie's father stood up in a rage. Will you all just shut up for 2 minutes? She's not even in the room, and you've already started to crucify her. I have complete and total faith in my daughter. Rosie would never do anything wrong. Until she arrives and we hear from her directly, no one is allowed to jump to any conclusions. One of the shareholders retorted, President Mang, it's not that we don't trust your daughter, but when the facts are laid out in front of us, we have to accept the truth. Fian smirked and said, Director Mang, you need to face reality. Just wishing your daughter isn't guilty won't magically make her innocent. The Food and Medicine Department didn't just arrest her for no reason. They aren't incompetent. If we waste time trying to save Rosie, this company will be destroyed. I suggest we focus on saving the company first. We can worry about Rosie later. If the company collapses, we all lose everything. Just then, a female employee entered the meeting room and announced, Director Jiang from the Food and Medicine Department is here in person. The shareholders were aghast. What? Director Jiang himself is here? This is bad. This has to mean Rosie's situation is even more dire. Fian stood up quickly, feigning a look of concern. In this difficult time, I will take responsibility for the company and go speak to the director. As he walked out, he smirked to himself. Seeing you fall from grace like this. Rosie, this is just too sweet. The second I give the director the genuine approval documents, this entire mess will be over, and everyone will see me as the hero who saved the company. And then, the president's chair will finally be mine. Stepping outside, Fume put on his best fake smile and walked up to Director Jiang. Director Jiang, it's a true honor to finally meet you in person. My name is Xiao Fun, a director at Dream Group. As of now, I'm managing all of the company's affairs. Director Jiang responded with a calm, level voice. So, you're Xiao Fun? I have to say, I didn't think our paths would cross again this quickly. Fume put on a show of being flattered. Oh, you've heard of me? That's a real honor, Director. But internally, his mind was racing. Based on his reaction, Rosie is completely done for. There's no way she's coming back from this. At long last, I'll claim the president's seat, something I could only dream of while she was in the picture. A proud smirk spread across his face, but it vanished in an instant when Director Jiang suddenly snapped a pair of handcuffs on his wrists. Fune's expression froze in disbelief. Director, what is the meaning of this? Director Jiang's voice was ice cold as he replied, I'm doing what I should have done a long time ago. Xiao Fun, you are under arrest for the bribery of officers Qi and Bing. You're coming with us for questioning. Panic washed over Fun. This has to be some kind of joke. Don't tell me that woman, Qi Bing, sold me out. Whatever she told you, it's all a pack of lies. I'm completely innocent. I had nothing to do with any of it. Right on cue, Rosie and Secretary Liu walked in. Fun's eyes blazed with fury as he yelled, Rosie, who in the world let you out? You're the one behind this, aren't you? What is your problem? Why can't you stand the thought of me being president? You've been in charge of this company forever. Would it really kill you to let someone else have a turn? Rosie gave him a look that could freeze fire and said, Fun, let's be clear. The reason you were never considered for president is simple. You are not, and have never been, qualified. Did you really think you could just take this position from me? You don't even come close to matching my qualifications, my skills, or my track record. To be perfectly honest, you're not even worthy of being called my rival. As the officers started escorting a stunned Fun out of the building, Rosie turned to Director Jiang and said with genuine gratitude, Director Jiang, thank you so much for all your help. I promise, from this day forward, I'll manage my company with greater care to ensure nothing like this ever happens again. If you ever have some free time, please allow us to host you for lunch at our home. Director Jiang smiled warmly and replied, if you truly want to thank someone, your thanks should go to the incredible Dr. Su, not me. Without his intervention, I never would have learned the truth behind this whole affair. Rosie was completely taken aback. What? Chen was the one who solved all this? I just assumed we got incredibly lucky when you decided to step in. But you're saying he's the one who set everything straight? Director Jiang nodded. That's right. If it hadn't been for the talisman that Dr. Su gave me, I likely wouldn't even be alive to stand here today. My actions today are nothing compared to the debt I owe him. Chen interjected calmly. Well, that's enough of that. We still have some unfinished business to attend to. He thought to himself, the sinister energy clinging to Director Jiang is getting stronger. The source must be a place where he spends a lot of time, most likely his home. After saying their goodbyes to Rosie, Chen departed with Director Jiang to investigate his house. Rosie watched him go, thinking, well, at least the biggest crisis is over. Now I need to get back to the company and assess the situation. As they stood before the house, Chen asked, Director Jiang, have you had any renovations done here recently? The director replied, yes, as a matter of fact. The old place was getting pretty run down, so I decided it was time for an overhaul. While scanning the property, Chen thought, I knew it. There's a powerful, dark aura emanating from this house. Director Jiang, has anyone ever died on this property? Because the energy here is practically screaming it. Director Jiang's brow furrowed in confusion. Dr. Su, I've lived in this house for many, many years. It's impossible that someone died here. Chen noted silently. His reaction confirms it. He genuinely has no clue what happened on his own property. No matter, I'll just have to find out for myself. He placed a hand flat against the wall and muttered, someone most definitely died here. Director Jiang is oblivious, but this place is saturated with the energy of death. He then turned and asked, Director Jiang, you mentioned you had the house renovated recently, correct? Was this particular wall part of that renovation? Director Jiang nodded. Yes, I had this wall completely rebuilt. Chen stated firmly, then this wall is the source of all your problems. It has to come down. Director Jiang hesitated for a moment. Are you absolutely sure? I just paid a fortune to have that rebuilt. But before he could even finish his sentence, Chen drew back his fist and punched the wall a single time, and it completely shattered. Chen then said calmly, if you want to keep on living, you're going to have to learn to let go of your attachment to money. He reached into the shattered wall and pulled out a human skeleton. Director Zhang gasped, completely stunned. A human skeleton? Suchin confirmed with a nod. This person was murdered and sealed inside your wall, along with the weapon used to do the deed. The thing is, when they were buried, they weren't entirely gone. That's why their soul latched onto you, mistaking you for the killer and becoming a vengeful spirit. Right then, the lights in the house suddenly flickered out, and Director Zhang grabbed his head, groaning in agony. Divine Dr. Su, you have to help me, he pleaded. Suchin quickly replied, the killer had to be one of the workers who did the renovation. Took this man's life and stashed the body here to cover his tracks. Pulling out a glowing talisman, Suchin declared, this is my absolute nullification talisman. No evil spirit can withstand its power. He pressed the talisman firmly onto the floor. Just a moment later, the dark aura completely dissipated. Suchin said softly, the vengeful spirit has been pacified. It won't harm you any longer. But you need to remember this. The one who did this to them must be brought to justice. Only then can their soul truly find peace. Director Zhang let out a deep breath. The headache. It's completely gone. Divine Dr. Su, thank you so much. I have no idea what I would have done without you. Suchin replied humbly, there's no need for thanks. You were only safe because you've lived a good life. Your own good deeds were what kept the spirit's wrath at bay. If you were just an ordinary person, you would have been a goner a long time ago. I'll take this cursed object with me to ensure the spirit never gets out again. But remember this, if you want to stay safe, you need to find the culprit and report them. If that murderer is brought to justice, the spirit will never return. But if you fail to do that, then the moment I'm gone, or my power weakens, that spirit will absolutely come for you again. Director Zhang nodded nervously. Don't you worry, Dr. Su. By tomorrow, that criminal will be hunted down. The scene changes. The next morning, Suchin was sitting cross-legged, thinking to himself, the morning is the absolute best time for cultivation. Just 30 minutes of focused meditation can strengthen my energy immensely. Suddenly, Roz's father walked in. Suchin smiled. Ah, father-in-law, it's great to see you. Roz's father let out a chuckle. Father-in-law, huh? That's the first time I've heard that one, but I guess I'll get used to it. Anyway, I heard from Director Zhang that you were the one who solved that problem at the company yesterday. Suchin replied modestly, oh, that. It was nothing major, really. Just a minor issue that I handled easily. Roz's father laughed. You call that times minor asterisk? You have no idea what a huge favor you've done for our family. First, you saved my father's life, and now you've saved my daughter.